Hi everybody, I'm Flavia and I hope all is well. In today's video, we will be creating some unique shaped note cards featuring the Spellbinders February 2023 large die of the month. With this set, we get a square die to cut out an A2 size panel, and I love that we have these two options to cut out some beautiful intricate pieces that we can add to the front panel. We also get an oval shape plate, metal plates to cut out flower arrangements, and 3 options for the sentiment. I really like this set because even though it comes with spring and Easter sentiment plates, I think that this is one of those sets that we can easily use to create note cards for many other occasions, even for Christmas, and really make the most out of it. I will begin by adhering these intricate leaves borders that I already die cut to a 5.5 by 4 inches panel that I have on the corner of my score buddy. By having my panel on the corner of my scoring tool, it will make it easier for me to quickly align the intricate die cuts with the edges of this panel. This is a great trick, and you can also use your Misty stamping tool to do that as well. I will also trim some of this lilac panel off so it has the same length as the intricate die-cut leaf borders. I'm using a needle tip bottle to apply liquid adhesive to these die cuts, which is very helpful because by using this needle tip bottle, I have more control over the amount of glue that I am applying. Another great tool is a pair of self-lock tweezers that we can use to hold small or intricate die-cut pieces like this. I'm using the Barely Art glue, which is a strong glue that dries clear, and I will use a piece of paper towel to remove any excess glue that is oozing out. The colorful cardstock that I'm using today are by Recollections, which is a brand of cardstock sold at Michael's craft stores. They have really beautiful colors of cardstock available. However, this lilac one is very lightweight, and because of that, I will add another layer of cardstock so it feels heavyweight. If you're already using heavyweight cardstock, you can definitely skip this step. Once we are done, we can go ahead and adhere this beautiful panel to a white panel that is slightly bigger, so we have just a little bit of white trimming showing around this lilac panel. However, before I do that, I will stamp my custom handmade by stamp on the back. I purchased this custom stamp from a seller on Etsy, and if you're interested, I will have listed in the description box down below all the products that I'm using today, so you can check it out later. To cut out this panel, I used that rectangular metal plate included in the Spellbinders die set, so it measures 5.5 by 4.25 inches. And now that my panel is ready, I can go ahead and create the oval-shaped note card that I will adhere right in the center of this lilac panel. Using the oval metal plate included in the set, I cut out 2 purple oval shapes and 2 white ones, and I will adhere them back to back later, so the outside of my note card is purple and the inside is white, so I can write a personal message later. But before we do all of that, we need to create a hinge that will connect the front and the back of this oval-shaped note card. You can use a piece of cardstock to do that, but I think it is better and safer if you use a piece of acetate to create this hinge. This piece that I have is about 2 inches long and 3/4 wide. I will fold it in half and reinforce the fold with my bond folder. Then I will round the corners of this acetate hinge. This step is definitely optional, so it's not really a big deal if you don't have a tool like this, but I feel that by rounding the corners of this acetate hinge, it will help on making it unnoticeable once we sandwich this acetate hinge between the oval-shaped die cuts. And remember that we can also round the corners with a pair of scissors. It doesn't really need to be perfect because we will hide it later. To adhere this hinge to my oval panels, I will use strong double-sided tape. I will adhere one side of the hinge to the top edge of a purple oval shape. Using my bond folder, I will make sure that the acetate really sticks to my oval panel. Then I can remove the release paper from the other half of my hinge and place the other purple oval panel on top. To make this oval note card look neat, I will adhere those white panels inside to hide the acetate hinge and also so I have a place to write a special message. By using acetate, I can make the hinge very narrow without having to worry about it tearing as we open and close the note card. But if you're using cardstock to create the hinge, try making it a little bit wider, maybe half an inch wide, just to be safe. Now I can go ahead and adhere this oval note card right in the center of this lilac panel and start decorating it. I will begin by adhering these 2 large green die cuts. Before I started recording, I die cut all of the other small pieces for the different types of flowers, and I have them all sorted out in these triangle trays. When a project involves a lot of die cutting, I like to do all of the cutting first and keep them all sorted out so I can get creative and really enjoy this final step. Since these are very small pieces, this needle tip bottle and these self-lock tweezers are a lifesaver. Whenever I feel that I've applied too much glue to the back of these small pieces, I will tap it off onto this piece of paper towel that I have right here on the left, just to avoid too much glue oozing out. To add some golden accents to this panel, I die cut these pieces that are supposed to go under the centerpiece of each flower out of golden cardstock. By the way, this set comes with 2 metal plates that cuts out different flower and leaves arrangements. You will see the difference once I show you all of the note cards that I created at the end of this video. To add some sparkle, I will go over each small yellow flower with my shimmer pen. To create the sentiment, I will do the hot foiling technique by using a piece of golden foil. Here we have my glimmer machine on the top right corner. Once this second light turns on green, it means that the platform is hot enough and ready to go. To avoid my panel and plates from shifting, I like to tape the foil and the metal plate to my cardstock before placing it on top of my glimmer machine. Always remember that the pretty side of the foil should be touching or facing the plate. And when we place this sandwich on the glimmer machine, the metal plates need to be touching the platform so they can get hot. I will also place these 2 shims that came with the machine on top and press the white button to turn on the timer. Once this green light stops flashing, it means that we can go ahead and remove this entire platform so we can run it through a compatible die cut machine to apply pressure. I did that off screen, and now as I peel this off, notice that I got a little bit of overfoiling, which is not a problem at all. I will be able to easily remove all of this overfoiling with a sand eraser, making sure to be very light-handed so I do not damage my golden sentiment. Once I have cleaned this up, I will use the coordinating metal plate to cut out these sentiments. I will stack a few other squares so my sentiment stands out and place it right in the center of my oval note card. As a final touch, I will add yellow flat back beads in the center of each small flower. When it comes to adding embellishments to my note cards, I like to switch to the Gina K-Connect glue. This is a very strong glue that dries clear, and I like to save it for when I'm adding embellishments. Since the process was exactly the same for all of the other note cards that I created, I will skip most of that to save you some time, but I do want to show you how beautiful this other set of frames is. And notice that I used the other metal plate to cut out these flowers and leaves arrangements. So basically with this set we get 2 options for the frame and 2 options for the flowers and leaves arrangement. I think it's great that we get all of these options. Here we have all of the note cards that I created with the Spellbinders Spring Reflection die set, and I hope you enjoyed this video and felt inspired. For pictures and more information, make sure to visit my blog. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so you do not miss the next one. I appreciate you watching, have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you again soon.